I know I should work out right now, but I just do not feel like it whatsoever because the kids are draining the life out of me. I know I should cook up some veggies, but I'm not feeling it tonight. That leftover pizza is way easier. I know I should go to sleep right now, but I need to decompress from this crazy day of momming. So, next episode, have those thoughts ever gone through your head? Are you sick of your own excuses right now? Like you do those things, you think those things, and then you just do what's easier because you're tired and it's hard? Well, I can promise you will feel ready to combat those thoughts by the end of this episode because you will learn how to strengthen your mindset so you can end the excuses that are holding you back without running yourself into the ground. Time to dive on in and go to war on those thoughts. Hey mama, welcome to the Tough Love Mom Podcast. I know you're here because you're ready to get consistent and finally lose that weight, and you're not afraid of a little tough love. You know what to do to lose weight, but following through on those things feels impossible. You wish you could just feel like your strong, confident self again and want to be a good example for your little ones, but you get thrown off by mom guilt and the unpredictability of motherhood. It's frustrating. Taking on your journey postpartum is hard, but it's not impossible. Hey, I'm Liz, and I've been where you are. I gained a lot of weight in my pregnancies, 90 pounds and then 60 pounds. I needed to lose that weight to take control of my health and honestly just wanted to feel like myself again. With a sustainable approach to weight loss, simple consistency, and working on my mindset, I lost it all in just over a year both times, and I'm here to help you do the same. I believe that we have an ingrained ability to figure out what we need to do, make it happen, and do it in a way that awes the world. If you're ready to stop falling off the wagon, create solid routine and healthy habits, and finally feel your best inside and out, all while enjoying dino nuggets on your salad, you are in the right place. We're about to transform your journey, my friend. Get pumped up. It is tough love time. Time to take a quick second to read the review of the week. This one comes from Jude and Flynn. Tough love that's honest and true can be hard to come by. Thank you, Liz, for showing up unapologetically and serving us moms. Those are 5-star review. I thank you so much for leaving those. If you haven't left one before, you just scroll to the bottom of the episode page, click leave a written review, and you can type up what you want to say, how I've impacted you, how this show is serving you, and then press send and you're good to go. But I just want to acknowledge that really quick because that is the best way for this show to get out there and reach more people. The more reviews there are, the more moms get to be impacted by this message. So let's dive into what we're talking about today. I personally like to think that I have a really strong mindset. I love physical challenges, Tough Mudders, stuff like that. I'm like, bring it on. Let's go. I love stuff like that all day, every day. I'll show up for that. Being consistent with my routine. Let's go. Throw whatever you're going to throw at me, world. Like, bring it on. You can't shake me. But there is one battle I still, to this day, have to consciously put in work to overcome, and that is late night stress eating. I don't know who I'm speaking to right now, but that's something that I still have to put in mental energy to battle. It's not that I don't eat all day and I'm hungry by the end of the day, and it's not even that I would eat junk all day and keep on that trend at nighttime. I eat really well all day long, balanced meals, plenty of veggies, but then after bedtime, after the kids go to bed, I'm like, it's really easy for me to go, hello pantry, give me all the snacks. The thought process of, I know I should really tune into my hunger cues right now, if I even have any, and address why I'm feeling this way, I often would tune that out and brush it under the rug instead of actually trying to figure out, why am I constantly going to the pantry? Why am I frustrated and just trying to stress eat right now? And that is often where a mental weakness with certain crutches, words are hard right now, with certain crutches or destructive habits come from, is brushing the real feelings, the real issues under the rug. So how can we go from that excuse-laden thought process of, I don't really feel like it, like how can we go from that to mentally strong and mentally tough, but not in a way that's going to run us into the ground? The first thing, and you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it again because we need to hear it almost every day, is you need to be fully honest with yourself. I want you to ask yourself, how are you feeling, really? Why are you feeling that way? What are you using to cope or numb those feelings? Like when you finally figure out how you're really feeling, are you doing anything to numb those? Are you doing anything to cope with those that maybe isn't beneficial? You have to ask and answer these for yourself in the moment. In that moment when you're doing something that you're like, I really don't want to be doing this, but it feels good, it's easy, so I'm just going to do it anyways. You have to ask yourself this stuff in the moment. And that is hard, but it is the work. It is the work that is going to change you down the road. And it is how you start laying down any idols that you have that are trying to replace or brush under the rug these feelings or these things going on in your life. So you have to be honest with yourself, number one, to get mentally stronger. The second thing I want you to do more often is hard things, right? Mental toughness, getting mentally stronger is forged by doing hard things. And this is not just physical challenges, even though I told you I love stuff like that. It's phenomenal for mental toughness, but doing hard things in your general day-to-day. What we just talked about, being honest with yourself, is a huge part of that. I mean, probably one of the biggest things you can do that's hard, right? If you've done that before or recently, you're like, yeah, it's hard. So that is one of the best ways you can do hard things, is to be honest with yourself. But what is also really cool is when you do new things, those are hard the first time. So let me explain really quick. When you're trying new foods or a new recipe, when you try a new workout or go work out at a class, when usually you work out at home, when you talk to new people, when you talk to the cashier at the grocery store, when you get out of your comfort zone in big ways and in small ways, you're doing something new, and that is hard. That is another phenomenal way to do hard things in a really tangible way that's not going to physically tax you, but it will, in your mindset, in your mentality, start to forge more strength. I think a lot of my mental toughness comes from the physical challenges I've taken on in the past 6-7 years of my life, but a lot of it has also come from random, tiny hard things I chose to follow through on. So this is just like a mini challenge mid-episode, but next time you're at the grocery store or Target, I want you to look up from your phone, look up from your kids for a couple seconds, and I want you to look the cashier in the face and use their name. Look at their name tag. This is something I learned from my dad, and it not only helps people feel seen. If you need to get out of your own head about how you're going to feel awkward doing this, I want you to think about how the other person will feel seen and heard and appreciated. But I want you to look up from whatever you're doing, whatever you usually escape into, and I want you to look that cashier in the face, look at their name tag, use their name, tell them, thank you, Patricia, or whatever, and thank them by name. Just start a conversation with them. Go even further and start a conversation. When we do hard things, we build our confidence. We build our follow-through muscle. And if you struggle with consistency, it's that struggle with follow-through, right? So when you do hard things, even small things like this, you're like, how does talking to the cashier at Target have anything to do with me trying to be consistent working out? It has everything to do with being consistent in your workouts. You're building that follow-through muscle. And with that comes a stronger mindset as well. So again, there's your mini challenge next time you go shopping. The third thing that is going to help just forge some more mental toughness in your life without overburdening you is embrace failure. That happens on a daily basis. Can we just be honest? We feel like we're failing on a daily basis. And instead of ignoring that, instead of trying to just move on from it, I want you to embrace it. The other side of doing hard things and being honest with yourself, right? Because that's the upfront hard work. There's another side of that spectrum, and it's failing, because you will fail. You're going to make promises to yourself and you're going to fall through on them. You're going to say you're going to work out today and then you're not going to do it. I'm promising you this. You will fall short, and it's because you're human. We all do. But the good part about failure is what it does do for us when we capitalize on it. We're in process always. And that failure was part of your process to grow if you take advantage of it. The times that you end up stress eating after bedtime, or you stay up too late again watching a show and then you can't get up early to work out and there's another day of consistency in the drain, whatever it is, those are opportunities that if you take advantage of them, you can grow from. And how do you grow from them is you get honest with yourself. Why did I do that? What caused me to feel that way and led me to not follow through? And when you can just process through it logically, you're, again, building that confidence, building that strength muscle, that follow-through muscle. And when you lean into that failure, when you face it, when you acknowledge it, you can learn from it instead of letting it bring you down. Because when we brush stuff under the rug, when we ignore them, it tears us down. It literally pulls us backwards. So don't do that. Next time you fail, I want you to just stop and embrace it and go, what can I learn from this? And sometimes the lesson is huge. Sometimes it's not. But when you ignore it, it's going to bring you down. So I hate to do this to you, but I'm not going to beat around the bush. So I don't really hate it. I kind of love it a little bit, or else I wouldn't call this the Tough Love Mom podcast, but I'm not going to beat around the bush. All of this is in your mind. It's all in your mind. And if you're struggling with the excuses and they're winning, you're not enough in your head. I'm not going to tell you to get out of your head because you need to lean into it. You need to lean into these thoughts. You thought I was going to say you're in your head too much, didn't you? I need you to get into your head. Face those emotions and those thoughts and those excuses logically. Think through what you're doing and why you're doing it instead of just constantly ignoring it and listening to the excuse and letting it win. Doing hard things gives you more opportunities to face those thoughts. It will give you more opportunities to fail. But again, remember, we learn from those failures when we embrace them. So do the hard things. Face those uncomfortable excuses that you keep giving into. You didn't press play on this episode for no reason, so don't be mad at me right now for giving you some tough love. I want you to lean into those things, okay? Promise me that. And I know it's really hard to do this alone, so I'm really glad I can tell you that if you're worried about taking on these excuses alone, or you've tried but you've constantly failed at it, you can have me as your personal tough love mentor to help you walk through addressing these excuses that we all struggle with. Like, I've probably struggled with at some point. Staying up late, that's another one for me. With something that you're facing and you just can't quite beat it. I will be your accountability. I will help you do these hard things. Let's work through those excuses together one-on-one. You can do the one call package. It's all linked below for you, but you can do one call to just talk through the basic strategy to address these biggest obstacles that you're facing. You can choose a 3-call package to get some accountability along the way as you dismantle these excuses, especially if they're really ingrained and you're really struggling with them. Or you can choose the 6-call package so that over the course of 6 weeks or however long you'd like to spread those out, you can overcome those excuses, grow a strong, resilient mindset, and truly just change your life, finally following through on those habits that you want to be following through on. So I can't wait to see you on one of those calls. Make sure you head to the link below that talks about working with me one-on-one, those unstuck sessions to really just work out of these excuses. You do not have to do it alone. I'm here. And I cannot wait to help you work through those excuses. Before you go, thank you for spending this time with me on the Tough Love Mom podcast. If this episode encouraged you in any way, the number one way you can thank me is to leave a review letting me know how the show has impacted you. Then send this episode to another mom friend, or take a screenshot, post it on social media, and tag me so I can personally thank you for helping me on this journey to impact thousands of moms. I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you, sister. Until next time, get after it.